Do you own an off-road machine? Well, Utah has so many places for you to explore. There are technical rocks where you go riding slow, precision riding, or you can ride in the winding forest, or maybe you want to just let it rip in the desert. Utah has a spot for you. I've been riding Utah trails for many years. I started out with a dirt bike. Do you remember the Honda CR125? Then I purchased a Kawasaki KX500. Then came the ATVs, so I bought a Honda 400EX and then a Yamaha Banshee. What a fun machine that was. Now I ride a UTV. So on this video, I'm going to discuss my favorite places to go riding in Utah. I have not been on every trail in Utah, but I've been on a few. And I'm going to cover a large, nationally known area. And I've also got a couple spots at higher elevation for those hot 100-degree days that we sometimes get in Utah. I also have a riding spot that you can ride during the daytime and go to the casinos at nighttime and do some gambling. Can't forget, I've also got places where you can ride the dunes. Well, let's get after it right now. I'm Mike Gallagher. Welcome to the Living in Utah channel, where we talk about eating, sleeping, drinking, playing, whatever there is in the state of Utah. I produce a weekly video about the state of Utah. I also hold a live question and answer session every Thursday evening right here on YouTube. I am a licensed agent in the state of Utah, so if you are looking at buying or selling real estate in Utah, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. We got your back with Utah Real Estate. Also, I would love for you to leave in the comments down below, where is your favorite place to ride in the state of Utah? Also, what kind of machine do you ride? We're going to start out with the big boy of the state, MOAB, Utah. It is known throughout the United States. It's also known internationally. It receives a lot of tourism every year. Now, MOAB is located on the eastern part of Utah. It is real close to the Colorado border. As far as mileage goes, you're about 230 miles from Salt Lake City, probably about 450 miles from Las Vegas, and probably about 400 miles from Denver, Colorado. There are numerous trails to ride in MOAB. It's what MOAB is known for. And if you do not own a machine, don't worry. At MOAB, you can rent a machine, or you can go with a tour company that will provide you a machine and take you on some of the popular trails. MOAB trail number 1 is called Fins and Things Trail. It's approximately 10 miles long. You have a variety of riding. You have hills. You have standard flat trails. There are areas to ride on the rocks. And there are also areas where the edge drops off. So based on that, in my opinion, it's more for the intermediate rider. MOAB trail number 2 is called Hell's Revenge Trailhead. It's about 8 miles long. It's very popular with the locals and very popular with people coming from out of state. It's well known. So you have standard trails, you also have drop-offs, and you also have rocks. But in my opinion, this particular trailhead would be for expert riders only. It is rather difficult. MOAB trail number 3 is called the MOAB Rim Trail. Real easy to remember. It's about 7 miles long. So there are drop-offs, there are hills, there are rocks. In my opinion, this trailhead is for expert riders. So this trailhead and the last trailhead, if you own a new machine or a machine that you do not want to get dented or scratched, you may want to avoid these trails. The rocks get real slippery. It's real easy to slide, damage your machine, maybe overturn your machine on these particular trailheads. So MOAB trail number 4 is called Poison Spider Mesa. It's very similar to the other trails. You have hills and rocks and standard trails. Once again, I would rate this particular trail as an expert trail. It is very easy, once again, to slide off the rocks and damage your machine. MOAB trails in general, I would say, most of them are ranked for intermediate riders to expert riders. MOAB trail number 5, and this is one of my favorite places to go. It's called the Whitewash Sand Dunes. It's actually about 45 miles northwest of MOAB. Here you will find wide open sand dunes. And there's also trails and dirt roads to ride on. They have a little bit of everything. And I would rate it for all riders. So whether you're a beginner or an advanced rider, I think you'll do just fine on this trail. Let's throw one more in for Moab, and I really love the name of this trail. It's becoming more and more popular, this trail. It's called the Fallen Police Officer Trail, and I would rate it from beginner to intermediate riders. You'll do just fine. It's a 14-mile trail. It's a mixture of dirt and exposed rock, and now this is a wider trail, so it's not uncommon to see four-wheel drive vehicles on the trail, Jeeps and trucks, etc. So be careful out there on this particular trail. Let's leave Moab for a moment and talk about some sand dune riding. The most popular area in Utah, hands down, has to be the Little SAHARA recreational area. It's 124 square miles of fun. Yes, that would be 124 square miles. Plenty of room to go riding. Where's it located? Well, it's just southwest of Provo, Utah, not far down the road. It is an absolute blast if you love riding the sand dunes. Whether you're a beginner rider, intermediate, or an experienced rider, I think you'll do just fine at this location. I do have a word of caution, though, to take care when you are here. On holiday weekends, it gets very, very crowded, and I've seen numerous accidents over the years. Some requiring life flight helicopters to fly in to get people medical attention. So take care and stay safe out there on the trails. How about a location that is less crowded? Well, I've got one for you. It's called the Arapeen OHV Trail. It's located in Sanpete County. You're approximately a 2-hour drive south of Salt Lake City on Highway 89. At this location, you will find over 600 miles of trails. Yes, 600 miles. There's wooded areas, there's hills, there's some drop-offs. One thing to note though, if you own a UTV, it must be under 66 inches wide to go down the trails. One other positive thing about this location, the last time that I went there, it was free. You might want to check on that to make sure it is still free to get in. So I promised you a location where you can ride during the daytime and go to the casinos at nighttime. It's called the KNOLLS OHV area. That would be spelled KNOLLS. It is located west of Salt Lake City, next to a town called Wendover, Utah, and Wendover, Nevada. It is a border town. Part of the city is in Utah, part of the city is in Nevada. On the Nevada side, they have legalized gambling and casinos. At this location, you will find standard riding trails and also sand dunes. There's approximately 36,000 acres for your enjoyment. Whether you're a beginner rider or an advanced rider, I think you will find this spot just perfect. Now, the KNOLLS recreational area is about 30 to 40 minutes away from Wendover. So you can ride during the daytime, at nighttime, go to the casinos and enjoy the entertainment, maybe even spend the night in Wendover, and then the next day, go back out to KNOLLS and go riding for another day. How about a place to ride on those hot summer days in Utah? Maybe you're looking for some cooler temperatures. I've got a couple options for you. Number one on the list, Hardware Ranch in Hiram, Utah. Hiram is just south of Logan, Utah, which is in the northeast corner of our state. To get there, it is a beautiful drive through Blacksmith Fork Canyon, and while you're driving, you have a great river off to the side. Once you get to Hardware Ranch, the elevation is about 5,600 feet. I actually went there this morning. Today's daytime temperature in Salt Lake City was 93 degrees. When I arrived at Hardware Ranch this morning at 7:30 a.m., it was 68 degrees. I had to put a little windbreaker on. It was a little bit on the chilly side, a little bit of wind blowing. We rode all morning. By lunchtime, the temperature was about 80, 81 degrees. Perfect day to go riding. So once you get to Hardware Ranch, there are many trails. As a matter of fact, the trail that goes up to Hardware Ranch can be a little bit rough. So if you like a smoother ride, maybe not this particular trail. But the ride is well worth it. Once you get there, the elevation change makes it a very beautiful, cool ride. Option number 2 on my list for some cooler temperatures would be the Mill Canyon ATV Trail, located in Midway, Utah. This location has about 75 miles of trails. You have your standard forest type trails, you have hills, you have drop-offs. Whether you're a beginner or an expert rider, I think you'll have a great time at this location. As you're enjoying some of Utah's beautiful trails, I have some tips to help your riding experience go a little bit smoother. And the first thing would be a cigarette-operated air pump to pump up your tires in case you get a flat tire. It's a real small little device, just plugs in your cigarette lighter and it can pump up your tire. It came in very handy for me a few months ago. Trailer tire went low. I managed to pump the tire up to make it home. If you do get a flat tire and you're riding with somebody who has a winch, you can hook the winch onto the roll bar and lift one side of the vehicle. It becomes real handy to change a tire. Don't forget your cell phone and also sunscreen lotion. I always keep some right in my machine. Also, make sure you pack plenty of water. Water. Might get thirsty out on the trails. And also some snacks like beef jerky, granola bars, trail mix. Very handy for those long trail rides. Don't forget first aid kit. You can buy small first aid kits that'll fit right in the glove box. And a GPS device can come in real handy. So in conclusion, that's some of my favorite trails I enjoy riding right here in the state of Utah. I would love to know in the comments down below what is your favorite trail. And I hope to see you on one of my live question and answer sessions right here on YouTube. Till the next video, take care and stay safe.